Honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense.
They say many garbage things.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Melodrama upon melodrama!
This is a utter, shameful, disgraceful piece of nonsense.
See was balls off it yesterday.
You'll learn a lot more if you listen rather than talk all the time.
No problem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast. We are here post Ireland, England, and I suppose if there's one good thing to come out of the weekend, Will, it's that you do know something about football. Confirmed on the last pod.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe we both nailed it. And we had the facial expression, the gears turning in his head, the fact it was definitely going to happen. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, if I know football at all, Declan Rice is guaranteed to score 100%.
Oh, that's a good one. Non-celebration against a former team?
Oh, I think it'll be a non-celebration, but there'll be a lot told by the look at his face. You know, it'll be a non-celebration with a big smile. Do you know what I mean? Even more annoying.
Will he, because he's so media trained and such a person who just lies, I guess, will he go to oh no, former team can't celebrate, and I should acknowledge it's a former team, so I should celebrate. You'll see the gears turning, oh shit, what's the best thing from a media perspective to do here? Yeah, whatever him scoring, Grealish starting and scoring as well, it was just like a double kind of good punch.
It's funny because there's been huge scandals throughout the years in Irish football and so many dark days. This felt like the worst day in the history of Irish football. Losing 2-0 to England, but just because they scored, it's of course they would. Yeah,
it was all your turkeys going home to roost. You know, all the inadequacies of the FAI and football in this country beforehand all come back. Here's the two players that we nearly had for the granny rule, but you messed that up as well because we're so bad we couldn't even keep them. Yeah. And now they're scoring against us, and we also look completely inept and out of our depth here. It was just and we're at home, it was just And because Declan Rice was so good in that game, it was so obvious. If he was playing for us, it would have been a huge swing.
It'd be massive.
If he was doing that for us, who would they have besides Jack Grealish? And on the bench, they had Conor Gallagher, who also has an Irish passport. It's but even forgetting all that, it was just Grealish and Gallagher versus Rice. We'd be way more in that game,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd have someone to give it to.
Someone to get the ball, run past players. I mean, he was just doing it all. The goal he set up for Jack Grealish, to get 2-1-2s off people as he's stormed down the pitch at us.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just, maybe he was extra motivated today, but I think the one where we had a free kick, probably the worst moment of the game for me anyways, was the free kick.
Yeah.
Where it was Smallbone and Brady. And Smallbone did the dummy, and then Brady kind of looked and we didn't agree on that. I'm going to do my normal free kick here. It took an extra 2 seconds and then just kicked at the wall. It was okay, so whatever. He comes back, and then he's I'm going to try and take some of my right foot because I messed up the first one, so I think I deserve another shot. Meanwhile, Malumbi's I think it's my go. And then both just run into each other, and Rice steams down the pitch oh no, they're going to score again.
Yeah, that really summed the game up. Again, it's because even all you've been hearing is the set pieces though. We don't have anything else, but we can put a ball on someone's head, and we finally get a dangerous set piece, and literally 4 seconds later, there's 5-on-1. They're barreling towards Keller.
Yeah, I think whatever you've seen, likes of Ronaldo and Messi hitting the wall. It's not a Cardinal sin hitting into the wall, but it's the reaction afterwards. Three men just, all came on the ball at once, trying to kick at the same time. It's just, keep your head, retain possession, whatever. But don't just go for a wild, not two at the same time, go for a wild lash at the ball while leaving the back door open. So
I don't think I've ever in my life heard so much groaning from a crowd. There were so many times where Ireland would get the ball and instead of making an easy pass or slow things down, they'd just lump it, but not even to someone. They'd just lump it out of play or just get it out of here quick. And just every time it was the entire Aviva would just let out this audible oh no.
Yeah, we didn't manage to channel San Marino and get the upset win. I mean, can you really blame Hallgrimsson? No, I don't think it's at his door. I would even still say it's probably not even at Stephen Kenny's door. I think it's a wider issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, where do you even go from here? Like, you know, like we're just so far off the pace. Like there's just nothing there, you know. Like, you know, we're missing a few, but I mean, really, that is kind of the team as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like a lot. Like when you look at that starting lineup, it was like not bad, kind of, because it's like that's about as good as it's going to get, apart from one or two players. But I saw a stat that apparently, do you know what country? The only country to have fallen further in the FIFA rankings over the last few years, apart from San Marino and Liechtenstein, is us. So, like, remember that game a few days ago? San Marino finally got a win. It was like those two, and then we're the other team that wasn't involved in that game. It's grim.
But they're what, Group D, are they? Or Group?
I think so, surely.
Group D or C? Because it's them, Liechtenstein, Andorra, and Luxembourg, I think. Like literally all the mini states, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And like we've lost Luxembourg infamously recently enough. San Marino are now confident, I wouldn't want to play them in a challenge game.
No way. They're looking good. They're looking sharp.
Greece won 3-0 there as well the weekend. That we've played them next. I mean, you know, like England, like they took the foot off the gas big time in the second half.
Yeah.
They put on a few subs and were like, all right, you know, this game is done. They're literally offering nothing. So we can all just relax here. I mean, we had a few chances.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one of the best chances in the first half was when Grealish kind of got caught in possession, I guess. He looked like a clear push to the back to me. But anyways, he lost the ball and we were away. We got a shot off. And there was another one where Malumbi had a kind of free header. He kind of got under the ball a bit. Not sure what that was about. But yeah, I guess it's stuff like that. The free kick where it's like, all right, like if you're just not creating patterns or whatever, but like when you get chances, like a free kick or a free header, and you don't put it in, it's like that is just like lack of quality. That like, there's not much a coach can do. I guess literally there is. You can coach those things, but it's like at this point in your career, if you can't do that, like a free header or have a free kick like that goes, you know, I don't know. It seemed pretty hopeless. Will,
yes,
you know, it seemed very hopeless from an Irish point of view. Yeah, I mean, I guess the big story was the two defectors, Grealish and Rice, were interviewed after the game. Should we let them speak themselves?
Back in Ireland, a goal each. Deck, how do you sum up your afternoon?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, the manager's first game. And yeah, a win. You know, in the Nations League, obviously, we're in the league below where we want to be, so we know how important it is to win this group, and to come here today and win, I think it was really important. And to score alongside Jack, it was a really nice feeling as well.
Jack, was the reception all you expected, and did it give you a little extra?
Yeah, it's what I think me and Deck expected. Listen, it didn't. I said before the game, I think it's different. You know, like me and Deck have, you know, nothing bad to say. You know, we both enjoyed our time. You know, playing here, I certainly did, and you know, I have a lot of Irish in my family, so there's no like bad blood whatsoever from my side.
Like I maintain that Grealish really doesn't quite grasp it. It's like I mean,
hasn't a clue.
I don't know, man. I really don't know what this is.
He says like, I had a great time in Ireland.
I had a great time playing here. It's like, that's not the point. You know, we're not saying he's left us a bad review and he's ruined it for other people to respectfully. He's put people off here now. You know, he thinks like maybe they think that I didn't like it here and that's why I left. It was like, we know why you left, for the money. You know, we all know why. It just hurts.
Hey, no bad blood on their part, you know?
Yeah, I mean, no bad blood on your part. Of course, no bad blood on your part. You know, like, he's not mad at us for booing him. He's like, listen, I don't feel bad about it. I don't know. But you can see like the whole time when he's talking, Rice is like looking down the ground, like, let this conversation. Rice knows better.
Oh,
Rice knows well.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, what Rice did was worse. Absolutely, what did worse.
Yeah, again, and then he even said in there, he's like, look, my whole family is Irish, you know, I know all about Ireland. And it's like, why'd you leave?
Yeah, Grealish was doing the like, trying to like, yeah, let's talk this out. What is the problem here? I don't get it. It was Rice was like blowing by it, being like, yeah, look, good game. Yeah, good afternoon. Because again, when he said it first, He's like, how was the afternoon? And he, like a bit of a pause, but yeah, good.
yeah.
What should I say here? Yeah, he's so weird, man. He's a weird guy. You know, I know we mentioned the top show and the last show, but the non-celebration, like, it's just weird to do it against a former country. Do you know what I mean?
It has to be one of the first in history.
Oh, yeah.
Has that ever been done?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the non-celebration is quote unquote utter woke nonsense. You know, I feel like it's a it's a new thing that's kind of come in. I wonder when exactly they first started doing that. Sorry about that. You know, I respect you as a club, but like, you know, it's been many other players who. I mean, it's a strange situation when you play for a team.
Yeah.
To the point where we feel like you played for us and then you switched and then you're good enough on the other team to score. Then to play against them in a competitive match to score against them. It's a lot of things that have to line up for this to happen. So he may actually be the first person to ever have to do this.
But I mean, I don't think this has probably happened like this before because, like you said, I think any other football federation, they go, make sure he's not allowed to switch. He's really good and he's played 3 games for us. Let's lock this down somehow.
Yeah. Well, it was that kind of talk that pissed off Martin O'Neill. You know, his own ego got in the way there. It was like, I'm the manager. Don't tell me what to play or who to play. Do you remember he was like, what's he done? Who is he? He's like, he could be someone. And we have very little, you know, but if you think back then, he was still thinking, I got this team to the Euros, so like we don't need these like guys who aren't really Irish or whatever. But like it was all because the media was telling him, do you don't think you should give him a cap? It's like, you know, who? Who is he? You know, you're doing the Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's go. He did the same with Grealish. Like, who's this? Jack who? Like, what's he done? He's played in the Premier League yet, you know? And like now look at us. If we had those 2 players, we probably would have won that game.
I'm honest to God, yeah. Again, England weren't any great shapes, which made us look all the worse.
Yeah.
That like we were dominated by them and they looked worse than they did. Now, they're probably more attacking than they were in the Euros, but like I don't think they controlled the game with ease or anything. It's just like the ball kept landing to them and then they were free to run at the goal.
Like you said, no one did what we did, like that free kick. Like Slovenia didn't do it that once in the game that they were playing. They were much more organized than that. And again, it's a new manager, and you know this England team's been together for a while. And there's like a core there that are still kind of there, and they have the ability to kind of blood in players slowly but surely. Like even like your man Morgan Gibbs White and Angel Gomez, like they've just new players in. They may work, they may not. Like we're just like, okay, who's fit? Who's playing for a club? You know,
like, still have Brady's number.
Yeah, is Brady still available? You know. So like it is different in terms of we'll probably never be to that level, but yeah, it was tough to watch. And then Grealish, like whatever Rice is like, oh sorry about that, like very media trained, people pleaser tendencies that he has, like Grealish with the fingers in the ears,
fingers in the ears, fist pump before to the England fans. We gave it to them, didn't we, boys?
Yeah, like. I guess you saw the flags, or the 2 snakes are back, and the pictures of Grealish and Rice. You know, I mean, that maybe just this might make this day a bit of crack, you know, because it's not going to be any other ways. But
exactly,
maybe rile them up. But yeah, he had a few Instagram posts as well afterwards. I know this is like kind of trolling through your ex's story. Like she was out last night, you know, but still, you know, they did seem to enjoy their trip to Era. They had one, just the 2 of them. Rice and Grealish posted this. I think Rice, you can do the Rice and Grealish thing, but Rice posted just the 2 of them at the airport, arm in arm, no caption needed. Quite make up your own mind what that means, folks. Yeah, he tweeted that to he posted that to his 3.8 million followers. He posted the non-celebration as well, a picture of him non-celebrating. That's
insane to me now. Because like, okay, if it's a respect thing, you know, I don't want to celebrate, then don't be bringing that up. Why are you reminding us you scored if it's such a big problem to have scored against us?
Yeah, and Jeff Hendrick actually left a comment on it. He said, mature, thumbs up.
Oh, good one.
I think that's what the sentiment was. It got 196 likes from the likes of me, I guess, who were insane enough to be scrolling through. Did he post about us? he better not post about. He posted twice about us, you know. So he does that one where it's like the non-celebration. I can't see a caption for this either. You got all the boys. You got Emil Smith Rowe post the cold emoji, cold face. Aaron Ramsdale also cold, and then the cold emoji. Riccardo Calafiori, you better stay out of this, pal. This has got nothing to do with you. You know, he's applauding this. He's got three clapping emojis. You know what you get into. You need to wind your neck in, Riccardo Calafiori. I'll tell you that much right now. This is nothing got to do with you.
Yep.
Reece Nelson, I think, had a funny post. He said "feck."
That is funny. But also I feel like there's a sentiment behind that. Look at what I'm saying as if I was an Irishman.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, it's just feck, full stop. FEK, full stop.
So yeah, do you know what this makes me think? They're all laughing about us behind our back. All.
Oh, of course he is. He is definitely laughing about us. You know, because the other English players do not get it, so they're laughing about us. So Declan Rice, to fit in, is also laughing about it. That's what he does, Will. He just fits in. Whoever he's with, he's like, yeah, I agree exactly what you say, you know. That's England, actually. The one where it's just him and Grealish given the two fingers, I guess, for 2-0. England, the official page, responded and said, "A double in Dublin," and 2 fire emojis. So they're all just having a, you know, people come here, well done, lads, have a Guinness.
Funny,
so
yeah.
It's a
big joke, isn't it?
So yeah, he's, again, this is just classic Dick Rice. He says one thing to the media, you know, and then goes on Instagram, does the muted celebration, and then he goes and trolls us online. So yeah, that's Declan Rice for you folks. If you wondered what kind of man he was, asked and answered. So yeah, really bad weekend, I think, for the national team, all in all things considered.
Could have been worse, though. We were saved a few blushes by Caoimhín Kelleher, who had a very good game. It is one of those games, though, we see it a lot where, like, a lot of relegation keepers, say, in the Premier League tend to have very good seasons because they're getting peppered with shots. So you have a lot of chances to save compared to if you were, like, in control of the game, you get 2 saves. But I think Kelleher got man of the match, or he should have probably. But even still, that hasn't made a difference for him, because I don't know if you saw his interview after the game.
No. Should we play it?
Yeah, I'll play the clip.
Yeah, like I said, obviously my ambition was to go out and play and be a number one. The news have reported, and it's been reported that Liverpool did reject a few bids as well. So like I say, it's not always in my hands to fully make the decision. So my ambition is clear that I think I'm good enough, and I want to go out and prove, play week in, week out.
So he's human. He wanted to leave. He was listening to the podcast. He said, "The boys are right. I have to go." But Liverpool said no. They said, "We need you for the Carabao Cup games."
Mm-hmm. Also, your replacement is en route. We need someone to train him in, pal.
Yeah. You get rejected for the store manager job, you know, because you have to train it. We need someone to train in the people who are going to do your job alongside you, you know. But I could do that as a store manager. No.
We see you more as like a number 3 type.
Yeah. You're just not managing potential. Well, that's tough for Caoimhín Kelleher, because this is kind of you know what, this is the time to say it. Eventually, you have to, like, he's played as well as he can in the games that he's got. Mm-hmm. He's not been 100% immaculate. He's let in some goals, obviously, when he got games for Liverpool, but that is part of it as well. That it's Liverpool, it's not Man City. You know, he's played as well as he can. I think at some point you have to kind of put out a thing that says, "Listen, I'm not happy here. If you want to come and get me in January, I will, at this point, probably force a move."
Exactly, yeah. Because when you're saying, like, "Oh, they rejected bids, but I do want to leave," it does give off the thing of, like, well, he's wants to accept any bid then. They're rejecting the bids, but he's happily like, anything, anywhere will do.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where, like, if you were like, maybe we can get Caoimhín Kelleher and you make a contact him before you talk to the club. He goes, "I'm telling them straight away now, that's not on." He's like, shit, now we're in trouble. But if you know that he wouldn't mind you coming to him saying, "Listen, we're going to probably offer about this much, you need to force move, maybe, give him more information to give him more leverage to force the move." But if you go to him and he's like, "I don't want to go to this, and also I'm telling," then you could be in trouble. You might, a point structure might be coming your way. So it definitely gives the sign to anybody who maybe made a bid in the summer. If they're struggling still in January, they might go, "Okay, well, now might be the time to get Caoimhín Kelleher." I mean, that's not going to be good for him going back to Liverpool in terms of, like, they know now he's unhappy. He's made it public. So Yeah, I think he might be lining up some kind of move in January with that kind of a comment.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, he would look good. At least there was one lad on the pitch who were like, hey, at least we've Queeveen.
I know, but like that is what Irish football is. Like the goalies and centre backs are usually our best players because like they just are getting like bombarded all the time, so they get the most action. I mean, did you see the newest ad for the Irish team?
No.
It's like, first of all, it starts with Gavin Bazzoon in goal and the women's goalkeeper. I don't know who it is, but like they're looking at a free kick about to be lashed in the top corner, probably. And then it's like, when you play us, you play all of us. And then people, first of all, a child invades the pitch, like very much kind of what we do here. Child invades the pitch and they get in the wall. And then other people go, yeah, I'm going to fucking get in the wall too. And everyone leaves the pubs and leave their homes. And now we're all in a wall in the Aviva for this. It's like, that's it. We just park the bus. Put every person in the country behind the wall and stop them score a goal.
That only makes the wall longer. It doesn't make it any higher. You can still hit it over the wall.
They're a length of the pitch. And then there's people, linking arms outside the stadium as part of the wall, which is like, it's everything. It's behind the bus. It's park the bus. Tactically inept. Clear and obvious mistakes. Kids
put all of the people up front.
Stack the wall. Block the goal. Put them on your shoulders. Make a human pyramid. Some obvious things here. But
that is funny that they've like in that Irish football team ad, they have tried to implement the 2 goalie rule we've been talking about for years.
Yeah. Literally, it would be better if people just got in goal alongside them. Like the wall was like a Pac Lewis, just like people standing in the goal line with hands out. When you play us, you play all of us.
Yeah, we all cower behind the ball trying to stop it desperately. You'll never score against all of us.
We're going to throw 6 million people in front of the ball and get a valuable point at home.
Oh, top bins. You hit it right over us all.
Oh, wow. The one place you need to put it. They have good players.
There's no stopping that.
Yeah. Look, we haven't played together. It's not our fault. We've had a lot of injuries. COVID was really bad for us, particularly. Well, that puts us on 0 points, I guess, in our first Nations League game. We have Greece to come, as you mentioned.
No problem. Should we beat them easy?
Yeah. I think that's in Athens, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be not as warm this time as it was last time. It wasn't like 40 degrees last time or something?
Yeah.
Insane.
Being an issue.
So there you go. That's another plus for us.
Yeah, it's all looking good.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, Will. I don't know even what to say about this anymore. Like, obviously, we don't have as good players, but we may never. So you can't just same as any country. Like if you're a Netherlands, who's like you think back like a great history, it's like they don't produce as many good players regularly as France do. You have to find a way around that. And like I say, they produce a lot of good players and they're a big football nation. I'm just saying, like, versus like bigger countries, like with more resources of that, like, yeah, there's probably more strength and depth in the French team. There probably always has been, bar like 1 or 2 like really golden generations. But like, yeah, you can't just say, we don't have the players, we're not producing the players. Like, yeah, okay, that's never going to happen. So think of something. Something else has to happen. Same as like any team, like in our kind of range, like a Slovenia or, Romania, any of the teams our size and resources you got to the Euros, like, yeah, they won't produce as good players as England ever either. But you have to, when you get drawn against them, there needs to be something.
That was an issue coming in this game because, like, we'd heard about Halgrimson. He's like, look, I'm gonna whatever gets a result. Like, if we need to play defensive football, blah blah. But then during that game, like I said, even like all of the Irish like the whole back line were just panicked and constantly just hoofing the ball out for goal or for throw-ins and stuff. It's like, right, we have to learn puke football again. We can't even do that anymore. Like, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I think. We do have the odd player that we think he's really good, and maybe he can be the person who's going to drag us out of this. Kind of like a Gareth Bale type figure. I don't know if we like as good as, say, Igbeni or Ferguson or players that are. I don't think we have a Gareth Bale type level player. I don't think we've maybe ever produced a Gareth Bale level player, even like Damien Duff.
Yeah, Robbie Keane, maybe. Yeah.
Robbie Keane. Roy Keane was obviously very good, but I mean, like they were really, really good when they had Gareth Bale. Now they've kind of regressed back. I know they had a few others as well, but like I just think if you wait on one player to propel you, you're looking at that. Like we may never see someone as good for Wales as Gareth Bale in our lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a once in a lifetime player. That kind of person that you're going to produce. So, and we've never seen it. I guess we're still waiting. But I just think if you're waiting on like we'll play kind of crap stuff, and then a good player will come along, and then we can do that. It's never going to happen. I don't think. Or it might happen once, and then next 100 years, wait for that to happen again.
And even still, like even when Wales had Gareth Bale, they still had like good manager and like a team full of Premier League players around Gareth Bale. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they had a manager that we turned down, Will, and Chris Coleman.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I think he turned us down.
We don't know that, do we?
I'm just guessing.
I'd love to see the list of managers that we turned down versus turned down us, because we know one was Neil Lennon. We turned him down. I'm pretty sure, because he was on TV being like, "I'm just waiting to hear back," and then like a lot of jobs, you don't ever hear back. But Chris Coleman, I felt like he was at a low ebb in his own career. He probably would have taken that.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Lee Carsley obviously turned us down for obvious reasons.
I know. Hey, grass isn't always greener, Lee. I knew you would, but they hate you now, so enjoy that now. That's you for the rest of your life.
We should mention that as well. Lee Carsley, another former Ireland player, he didn't sing the national anthem, but he made it clear he wasn't going to, and also that he didn't sing it as the underage manager.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's just him looking out for his own career, because he's thinking, all right, when he was playing for Ireland, of course, he didn't sing the Aaron Aveen. I'd say he didn't know it, first of all.
That's my guess, yeah.
Because again, he's a Callum Robinson. Would have liked to play for England, wasn't able to play it for us. So he comes over, oh, there's a national anthem. What are the words to that? Oh, it's in Irish. All right, never mind.
What the hell is that? It's like, oh, I'll go learn it somewhere. It's like, no, we don't really, most people don't know it.
Good luck finding a teacher, So I say he just went, well, I'm just going to pretend I'm in the zone. Because a lot of people don't sing it, and that probably wasn't an issue. And again, we were like, we're happy to have you, Lee. Don't worry about the anthem.
We don't care, yeah.
Happy to have you on board. Get the ball to Robbie, and then... but he didn't sing it then, and then when he was England manager, underage, he said, I'm not going to sing the anthem. Probably a tactical move, saying, okay, I haven't sung the Irish anthem.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of still in between. I haven't really, gone there yet. Now he's England senior manager by playing his cards pretty well, singing still, you never know. This is interim.
Yeah.
I'd say if he gets on a full-time position, he might start singing it.
That would be mad if he just started belting it out all of a sudden.
Once he gets that guaranteed contract,
that would be very see-through.
I actually do love the king. I actually do wish God would save him.
I think this is the biggest issue, because like they hate it. Oh, it was like the media had a field day over in England. It's like because he wasn't singing the anthem. But I think it's worse in England because the anthem is such a specific topic. It's like, what? You don't want God to save the king? It's like, oh, this guy hates the king.
I want God to save everyone, equally.
But specifically is who we're asking.
Yeah. I think it's a tricky one. Easier for players, definitely, because you say, I'm focused on what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to win the game for England. Is that not enough?
Bigger things in my mind, actually, trying to get us some trophies.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it will be transparent, but I wouldn't be surprised, because I think he's doing this for his career, And maybe he won't. Maybe he thinks, look, I might play for England and this team might fail like literally every other team has since 1966. And then I might need the Ireland job.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if he's thinking about that, I think if he sings God Save the King or Queen, whoever it is, we will still take him. That's not probably going to become a problem. If we could get a former England manager in.
Unbelievable, yeah. If Declan Rice said tomorrow, actually, I want to play for Ireland again, we go, yep, absolutely. All things are forgiven, Declan. Welcome back.
Whoa, you think so?
100%.
We wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah, but we'd get over it pretty quick, I think.
If you start putting good performances at that, yeah. But it would just be as weird as everything else that happened to Declan Rice. That he was like, actually, I'm back. Like, all right. Lee has got his career off to a good start, but we'll see how it goes. He's coming under a little bit of fire. But again, if you start winning games, people don't really mind. Do you know what I mean? They probably will win the next 6 games in the Nations League because it's us, Greece, Finland, and somebody else, I think.
Us? No, I think that's the 4. England, Greece.
Oh, England. Sorry.
That's going to be a tough game for England.
Forgot to count myself, kind of a thing there. Yeah, England, Ireland, Greece, and Finland. They will win those games. Easy enough. And it's more come down to, will he play Cole Palmer in the right position? Exactly. Like when Foden is back and Palmer is back. Like that kind of team picked itself a little bit, you know. Like Bellingham wasn't even there to kind of outshine Rice, you know. So
yeah,
there's a few selection headaches coming up, but so far so good for him.
He did pass one of the first tests. Southgate failed that for years. Apparently that was Trent's first start at right back for England in like 4 years or 5 years. And he had a great game because like, of course he did. That's where he plays. But just like straight away going into your first team being like, what if I just put everyone where they're supposed to be and not really overthink it?
But if you put Anthony Gordon on the left there, had a pretty good game. It's like, oh, he actually plays all the time and scores goals there. Crazy that worked out, you know.
That was their highest scoring first half in like 20 games I saw as well, because everyone was just in the right place.
Yeah, because in that same Rice interview, I think they put it to him, be like, is it nice to, you know, play attack football and score goals or whatever? Not quite that, but that was what he meant. And Rice came back. He's like, well, people have to remember that we scored like hundreds of goals like that for Gareth Southgate, you know, which is probably true. Like, I don't know every single England goal. They probably did score goals like that against shy teams, you know, like us. It was the test will come like against a good team, because like that's what every time they need to beat a good team, they lost. You know, at like the run to both the Euros finals, people say, well, none of those teams, what do you expect them to win the Euros? But like when you played Spain, they lost. Now Netherlands obviously was a good win for them, but that was a bit of a dark horse run by Netherlands. Well, no one's expecting to go that far with the injuries they had. So there's if you beat France or Spain like that, playing at that, or Germany playing at that, then you can say, all right, this guy is better. But like scoring good goals against us, like really, that is the bare minimum, you know?
Yeah, exactly. At least there was no long shots from outside the box this time. Put a stop to that somehow.
The one problem at a time. That's the first thing. The next is clearing it in the direction of one of our players rather than just out over the line. That'd be nice.
Yeah. And then third, if we just work out who takes the free kick and then who hits the rebound if there is one, that would we'd be miles ahead then.
Like he was on his bad foot, Brady's. Like you had a chance with your good foot, hit off the wall, and then like I don't know, maybe Malumbi didn't call him, but like disaster.
It's just the decision making, yeah. Like I know I didn't score the easier chance. What if I tried to score the hardest goal I've ever scored in my life?
Yeah, that's a bad decision on its own. If you got a call from Malumbi, it's even worse. Like, nah, whatever, Malumbi. You know, and if Malumbi, if he's like, I'm just going to try and kick this from behind him without making a call, that's crazy as well. So like, one of them is way out of bounds. You know, one of them is completely out of their element there. There was other games going on. Speaking of a team like France, France actually, they played Italy and they started the game pretty well. Barcola scored in the first minute, and then DiMarco scored an unbelievable goal. Maybe we should play the Italian commentary because they are like,
oh, good idea. Yeah,
it translates how outrageous it is just from the Italian commentary. The guy is outraged at how good it is.
Reclama il pallone in mezzo Reteghi. Cambiaso va dalla parte opposta dove c'è Di Marco. Il pallone arriva a destinazione. L'1-2 con Tonali. Di Marco! È un gol fantastico di Di Marco che riporta l'Italia in parità dopo una splendida combinazione con Tonali.
But yeah, it's funny because I saw, I don't know what the hell it was. It was like, who's the best left back between Calafiori and Udogi? Because obviously they're both Italian and Arsenal and Tottenham, but like DiMarco played during the Euros at left wing back, and you know Calafiori was playing as a left or centre back, but like to score that goal, it's like, all right, well, it just shows that like people only know like Premier League players. It's like there's a guy here who's playing already for Italy in that position, and he's actually really good. But
what about Udogi?
He would have gone to you if he wasn't injured and all that stuff, and I was like, I don't know enough about it just to be like so confident, like who's the best Italian left backs. Like you don't even watch the Serie A, you know. You used to watch 2 Italian players.
You don't watch Italy.
Yeah, you don't watch the Italian national team. But yeah, I don't know if he's back on it. Will maybe there's a separate French fraud watch that we can put Mbappe on. He didn't score. This is the level he's now at. You know, he is the man. He's in his prime. He's at Real Madrid. If he doesn't score and you lose, it is kind of all your fault. That is just it comes with the territory of being Kylian Mbappe in 2024.
I don't know if you saw that post that was going around Twitter and had a lot of people posting their own versions of it, but people saying after that game, saying, I used to think it was bad seeing your favorite player, you know, as they get washed, as they get older.
Yeah.
But it's actually much worse seeing your star boy peak too early.
Oh, there's been a lot of them, you know. Imagine if Pato had started his career 10 years later. I mean, the devastation that the Pato boys on Twitter would have faced. Because he was so good. He looked like he was going to be the next guy. And then it just it all fell away. El Shawari, another one. You know, imagine that in today's online world. Yeah, look, I think Mbappe is doing, like I say, he's fine. He's doing fine. But it's funny that if there's a result that doesn't go his team's way, it's like immediately he mustn't have played well then. You know, it's like it does all come back to him, which is just, is it worth this? Is what I'm saying. Is it worth it to be the guy for everything to be on top of you? I guess you get all the praise, but I mean, really only if you do well. If you don't, if you play well and the team doesn't do well, you know, is it your fault? Is your ego too big for the team again?
It's funny because it's like that whole thing of, it was kind of put on them that Haaland and Mbappe, right?
Yes.
New Messi, Ronaldo, we needed 2, perfect timing, lads. But because of that, it's like they're judged based on how they perform, like Messi, Ronaldo. It's like,
yes,
I don't remember them ever not scoring in a game. This must be a disaster.
Exactly, yeah. And they did score a lot of goals, and there wasn't many games they didn't. But it's just it's unfair to place them on that same level because it's like I say, different players, different times, all those kind of things. Just let them be who they are. But yeah, they lost 3-1 in their Nations League game. Devastating, I'm sure, to lose in the Nations League for.
What about the coefficient?
Yeah, it really only matters to the teams who want to qualify through it. But the teams like France or Italy who will probably, well, maybe not Italy, but you know, bigger teams who will qualify anyways. The Nation League must be utterly pointless to them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're going to be seeded in the second pot. We'll still be the best team in the group.
Like England are in our group. They're in Group B now because they did so bad in the previous Nations League and they got the final of the Euros. Like, it's not even a reflection of how good the team is. It's total. The only one thing, I don't know if they're in our group, but they're at our level. Georgia beat Czechia 4-1.
Seen that. It's funny because I saw it was like the score, like the clips of the goals were on the soccer Reddit. But it would just have like the goal and the score. And at first glance, I was like, whoa, a hat-trick for Kvaratskhelia. And then I looked closely, it's like, oh no, these are all different names. Just with similar Eshelias and Ks and Gs.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, look, that's I think your international roundup, if you can even call it that.
Yeah.
We had some news on the Premier League and the best suppliers of news, the news MVPs so far this season, Chelsea. They just can't stop being dramatic.
This is, I think, actually kind of, what's the word? Not refreshing, but reassuring. That's like, okay, this doesn't make sense what's happening. Like they also think behind the scenes that this is chaos.
Yeah, it does kind of confirm that not everyone's on the same page anyways as to what's going on, you know?
Yeah. So I have a summary of a very helpful article that The Athletic did. I squished it down. I fed it into ChatGPT and I said, make that easy to read, will you?
Yeah.
And they fired it back to me. So now, some of this might be wrong. You never know. So please let us know if any of these bullet points are wrong. But here's the gist of the story. There's an ownership rift between Clearlake Capital and co-owner Todd Boehly, who I always thought were one and the same, but it turns out no, that's 2 separate entities.
Yeah.
Todd Boehly does not work for Clearlake.
No.
Boehly sees his relationship with Clearlake as irreconcilable. There are cultural differences. Boehly, funnily enough, prefers a hands-off approach, letting experts do their job, while Clearlake are seen as obsessed with player trading and more involved in day-to-day decisions.
Right, so they like the big squads and the trading and the money. And okay, but Todd Boehly's actually like, maybe we should just see how it goes.
Yeah. Now I will say I did see a comment on this that people were like, "Oh, great! The owners of our club are putting out smear pieces against the other through the media." This is So I think this is a Boehly sided piece. Do you know what I mean? Where he's like, "I'm just a guy who wants the best for the club."
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Another point of tension is Pochettino's departure, which everyone in the world is like, that's insane. Apparently Todd Boehly wanted to keep him, but Clearlake pushed for a change, and this led to tension. Clearlake also are the majority owners of Chelsea, so kind of what they say actually goes. And Boehly is just under it. So he has a big say, but not enough to stop anything.
Oh, God. So you can't veto any moves.
No. There's also issues around the stadium. There's an argument over whether to revamp Stamford Bridge or move and build a totally new one. Transfer market activity. Since Clearlake and Boehly's takeover, Chelsea have spent over £1.2 billion on players and generated £500 million from sales, which has led to divisive opinions. I saw that and I thought, they've made £500 million from selling lads. This thing makes total sense. Like, they've only spent £700 million.
Yeah.
They're making it back. It's not that bad.
So is that 500 million profit or just revenue?
It says spent over 1.2 billion, generated 500 million.
So they're down 500 million.
They're down 700 million.
Sorry, down 700 million.
Yeah. But I thought they were down like 1.6 million. So when I saw a billion. Billion. Yes. But when I saw that, I was like, at least it's something.
It's like when there's something for sale for like €100, and then it's like, oh, it was 300 though. It's like, but 10 seconds ago you thought that was too expensive, but now it went on sale. So like, it goes from $1 billion to, we actually only lost half that. It's like, you lost $500 million.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound as bad.
It just doesn't sound as bad, does it?
While initially leading Chelsea's recruitment, Todd Boehly decided to step back in January 2023. Since then, the Clearlake's head, Egbali, has taken a more prominent role in transfers, signing the likes of Mudryk and Enzo Fernandez. Again, this seems like a Boehly piece where he's like, I don't know, just off the top of my head, the two big money flops, I think that was them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be...
No mention of all of the flops that Boehly signed in the first one, who are already gone.
Yeah, who you mean, Koulibaly is long gone.
Koulibaly's...
He's building schools and hospitals in his hometown thanks to the money he got off Chelsea.
They're paying Arsenal for Sterling to play for them at the moment, while also signing Sancho.
Yeah, no, like it's insane.
So yeah, it comes down to this, basically, the potential buyout. Both sides are exploring buyout options. Boehly's camp has received offers to buy out Clearlake, and Clearlake has the funds to buy out Boehly. So it's a back and forth now. A lot of posturing of, I'll buy you for fucking £6 billion. No, I'll buy you for £6 billion. Yeah. So I can't imagine this ends up going well on the pitch for Chelsea.
Right. So is there any kind of idea of how it's going to end? Is like, if none of them wants to sell and they both stay on, but it seems like, as I say, untenable situation for both of them. They both hate each other. I mean, if I was Todd Boehly, like, he is kind of the face of it. He is the bumbling idiot who is doing all wrong. I think that's why he changed his look. He went from the shaggy haired t-shirt to cut a short suit. I actually know what I'm doing. It's those. It's Clearlake. They're the ones who bought Mudryk. So he's obviously fighting a PR battle here. He's getting all the flack for it, when maybe Clearlake do have some decisions that have gone wrong as well. So yeah, I mean, if you're Todd Boehly, I think you either want full control, and if that doesn't work out, then you're like, right, well, I don't need this abuse. I don't need to be the guy who's the idiot in charge of Chelsea. It was not even me doing some of the decisions, like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't mind taking the flack for the ones I've got wrong, but for theirs as well. So either they sell or he leaves, it sounds like.
Yeah, it says here, there's no clear solution and both sides will be posturing for potential negotiations for some time to come. It says Boehly views Chelsea as a long-term personal investment, while Clearlake's role as a private equity firm involves managing investors' money, leading to diverging objectives. Again, it's like, how has football gotten to this stage where, like, that's a sentence to do with a club?
No, I mean, eccentric billionaires we like. People who are trying to maximize shareholders' profits is not,
Yeah, not cool.
Which one's good for the club? Hard to say. It depends on the billionaire and it depends on the profits that the shareholders want. But Yeah, I mean, it does explain a lot that there is a kind of a rift, that there's some strange decisions going on. Because, I mean, some of those transfers were probably, oh, yeah, watch this. Sancho.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I'm in charge, Boehly. You know?
Oh, well, Sterling's gone, so how do you like that?
Yeah, don't you forget it, you know. So, yeah, that makes a bit more sense, but not good for Chelsea.
No, terrible, terrible. Again, Maresca, still the most doomed manager I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, no matter how well he goes over the next while, it's never going to last. There's just too much issues.
If he's still there next summer, I mean, who does he go to for? You know, I'm just want to sort Todd transfers. Then Todd Boehly burst in. No, I'm the man in charge of that. I was like, no, you're not, Todd. Yes, I am. Check the percentages, Todd.
At least the shareholders will be happy.
Yeah, as long as the shareholders are happy, that is really the only thing that matters. So
that's what it's like behind the scenes on the podcast as well. I'm more of a long-term investment capital guy, and you're more like short-term. Spend money now, get the money. Yeah, so it's huge back and forth all the time.
How are our investors doing? Have you been talking to them recently? Are they good? Our investors?
No worries.
Our shareholders?
Just a phone off the hook, a spinning chair, and everything.
What kind of dividends are we paying? Are we paying at the moment on a no-nonsense stock, NNP, or whatever it is? We had a message sent to us on Instagram, actually.
Yes, from one of the shareholders.
Well, actually, one of our shareholders, one of the producers of the show, i.e. the fans. It was that new Champions League ad. I don't know if anybody's seen it. And it's very much in the style of the old ads that we were talking about before. It's actually pretty good, pretty enjoyable. Is
well
that
made.
After the Champions League, I'm thinking, isn't it?
I think it's an ad for Sky Sports Italy's coverage of the Champions League.
Oh, okay.
But they managed to get all these players. It is mad. But I did notice, I don't know if you copped this, some of the players are there acting, and like obviously it's on a big green screen thing.
Yeah.
Some of the players are not there. There's a CGI Haaland, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's not
person.
the real Haaland. No.
Yeah. So it's like maybe they had, like Sky has his image rights, but couldn't get the person on the day. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like we were saying about Cantona wearing an Umbro kitted Man United jersey in the Nike ad in 1996. It's like everything now is covered, you know. So you, as Sky Italia, you have rights to Champions League. Haaland plays in the Champions League. However, you didn't think about clause 31C, where you have the rights to my image digitally, not in person. You have the right to show my image on screen, but not the rights to be in person. Therefore, we have a digital AI looking Haaland. It's funny because like now we're like, it looks grand. Like it's clearly, not clearly, but if you were a kid, you would think that's Haaland.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you wouldn't notice. Yeah, first glance is grand. It's just, he kind of, his face moves in a way where it's like, that's not a human.
Yeah, like when I watched The Matrix first, I thought that was sick.
Yeah.
And then you realize, you look back at it now as an adult, you go, that's like a rubber Neo. That's not actually a real man. It's so CGI. Because it's made in 1999 or whatever. You know, in 20 years, you might look at that and go, oh my God, how do they get away with that? How do people not know immediately? But I think it's obvious enough, but it's a well-made ad. Basically, they've stolen our idea for the World Cup ad.
I will say they've improved on it, but they did steal our idea.
Yeah, I think if we were actually going to sit down and brainstorm, we might have landed on that. It's very obvious because it's like Christopher Columbus era ships, you know, conquistadors heading off on ships, and it's got all the different stars there. I don't have a list of players in front of me, but all players who play in the Champions League pretty regularly, and but they're all like 14th century or I guess 13th century kind of gear, but it's also the colors.
Cardinal gear,
yeah, like Swiss Guards type, kind of real puffy kind of tights and stuff like that, you know. But they're on the ship, and instead of cannons, they're kicking footballs at each other.
Genius, unbelievable. And I would say every team has like a huge, or every ship has a huge flag of their team, so they're all like facing each other.
Yeah, very like the Pepsi ad where they had the embossed cowboy gear with their names on it. It was just really good. But we were thinking it's not a World Cup ad, but that's where we would have gone. You would have been like, you're setting off to find America for the World Cup. I think it could still be done, but it'd be very similar. I guess in 2 years' time, maybe people won't remember. But anyways, you start off, and now everyone's leaving their country, sailing off to America, and then they have this ship battle in the middle with the footballs, and then they would get there, and then the American team would greet them as I guess in full blackface as Native Americans.
That'd be
I mean, I guess
interesting thought, yeah.
because or maybe the Pilgrims already got there first. You know, we've been here a while. They might say something like that. You know,
Yeah.
and they have like the turkeys and those guns, the muskets with the hats. We've been here a while, and they'd shoot guns at them or something. Well, maybe they probably couldn't. They kick balls at the players coming on or something, and then you'd have like say Ruben Diaz run, head the ball back at them, and it would hit Pulisic in the face. You know,
Yeah. Again, that was the thing. They had the cannons, I will say, but they didn't have much of like players getting hit by the cannons or like ships exploding. I would have liked to have seen more action.
no, it wasn't Ian Wright getting headbutt in the face by the devil.
Yeah, no. Nowhere near as violent. I didn't see anyone be beheaded. I didn't see anyone getting a cannon through the chest.
That would be good, like a Disney thing where you look down like, oh, and then there's a hole in your chest where the ball went through. No, it was a good ad. Maybe this has been going on in like Sky Italia for years, but we've just missed it.
Maybe,
but very enjoyable ad. Makes me hype for the Champions League.
Yeah, but this is also one thing with it. It's like, well, where are they sailing to? It's in Europe.
Yeah.
It's all over Europe. So it does fall down a bit after like the first. When you really look into it, again, much better for the World Cup, but still very good.
It's a great ad for the World Cup. But like, I wonder, is there a longer version of the ad that explains the story? You know, that we're only...
Again, our other idea.
Yeah, that's not a new idea. You know, you get little bits of the ads, and you look at it more, and it comes on the TV. Oh, this is a different version of that ad, and you watch even more.
I mean, we've gotten a lot right lately. You know, we predicted this ad, we predicted the right scoring thing. The fact there's football ads again at all, that seems to be like there's been 2 Champions League ones now. There was the other one with the orchestra as well that we talked about on Patreon. I mean, we brought it back in a big way.
Well, we're men of the people. You know, our thoughts are people's thoughts. So if we think something, like, then somebody's already tapped into that. They've already seen the data.
There's some man in the boardroom going, I know exactly what the dumb idiots are thinking. I'm telling you right now, they're looking for ads. That were like, you know what we miss.
It's their job to tap into this kind of information. So
if
we're thinking this, we're not like ahead of our time on anything. So if we think, I wish we had more football ads. They're already in the making it. They're already making the new ads. So look, it's good. I'm looking forward to it. There's no obviously tournament coming up this summer, like not the summer just we had, but the next summer. I mean, I guess imagine if they did an ad for the Nations League final.
Oh, no. Again, an empty stadium.
But maybe for the World Cup, we'll see when 2026. Not that far away, which is mad to think.
No, we do have a tournament next summer though that I haven't even looked into how it works or who's in it. But the Club World Cup kicks off this summer. I saw they're advertising that to the young people of the world by getting the Sidemen and KSI to do an ad for it. Did you see that?
Oh my God. I couldn't think of anything
There was
less
not
appealing.
a single footballer in the ad. And it's like KSI and them being like, it's easy. There's 16 teams.
They're just like us though, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it has to be football. I did see actually when we talking about being on one of those ads on his on the Overlap podcast, he was filming an ad, like a Nike ad or whatever, and Patrice Evra was there, but before he moved to United when he was at Monaco.
Yeah,
and Rooney thought he was an extra, didn't know who he was. He played in Champions League final. I thought he was an extra. Again,
even the players are Premier League pilled.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I also I didn't. I think it was just it's a very short story. I don't know if it was a headline. It'd be a very short article. But it was him and Jermaine Defoe were bored at the World Cup. This is 2010. So, in my mind, not that long ago, but I guess before a lot of changes, they were so bored they watched Wayne Rooney's wedding on DVD. The whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a story from like 1998.
Well, in 1998, they would have gone to the pub. It would be fine. True, yeah. You know, the 2010 was the worst period because like it was before phones. But then it was like we should.
Why did he have that with him?
I guess he just, as he's leaving the house, just picked whatever DVDs at the door. Oh, it's like a Die Hard.
But gets there and he goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Die Hard, Ghost, Big, and this one. Oh, my wedding. Just Jermaine Defoe and Wayne Rooney sitting in a hotel room, probably on the bed, watching Wayne Rooney get married.
Feet crossed, arms like, yeah.
Watching Wayne Rooney give his vows to Colleen Rooney before, going out losing 4-1 to Germany is pretty funny. Think of like that, like
very good.
We're really on the pitch thinking like, man, like I can't believe I looked like that like not that long ago, you know.
When?
I can't believe he was at the wedding. I don't remember him at all. But I must have been talking to him for a while because like there's a few clips of me with him. So look, when's the Greece game? Wednesday? Tuesday?
Tuesday, tomorrow. Or today, sorry.
Today when this comes out, I guess. So it may have gotten worse, folks, or it may have gotten better. But either way, we'll be back on Thursday with a new episode covering the Greece game, summing up the whole international break, and looking ahead and looking forward to the return of club football, I think.
Jesus. Yeah, it's funny. It's switched now where it used to be like, I love Ireland games. I can't wait for. I like an international break, I have to say. So now where it's back to like, God, I can't wait to watch Man United again.
Yeah, well, we'll save that steering analysis of what's happened to Irish football for the next episode. If you want to get some of that, there's a link in the description of this episode to become an ultra. You get a bonus episode every week. Club games are on. That'll be the FA Cup or Carabao Cup or Champions League even. So anything that happens during the week, we do a bonus episode and we kind of catch up on that. So yeah, for 15 months, bonus episode every week. Link in the description. That's what it will. I don't think there's anything else major we missed.
Nope.
Maybe we should leave the people with Steve McLaren, a man who turned us down, learning Jamaican, I guess.
Yeah, having the time of his life. It could have been us. It should have been him doing a Dublin accent.
He made the right call. He's a very smart man.
First trading session. I see you very red in the face. What was it?
Yeah.
You know about it. Really active, looking at eye.
And?
Yeah.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Ailings. Jamaican.
Okay. Yeah. Fully active.
Big up.
Big up.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you said something else this morning.
Fully active?
No. You said something else.
You sure?
Ailings.
Yeah.
Swipe or something like that, wasn't it? What was
It was something.
Okay. Seal it up.
Seal it up.
Seal it up.
Seal it up.
That's seal it up. Yeah.
That's what he said.
Seal it up. Yeah. Sorry. That's my
I know.
My fault.
Look me in the eye. Seal it up.
Respect. You should respect.